Hi everybody, this is Project 8, and what we're going to do is take a photograph and mirror it. In order to get a photograph to mirror, I want to go out to Google itself, click Images, and I did a search for sunlight streaming through trees. And I want them to be big enough, at least 800 to 1,000 pixels minimum. This is a pretty good one to start with. There are lots of possibilities. I'm trying to find one actually that has a nice angle that I could use. This one's fairly big at 1600. So what I do is right click on the image once it's large on the right here, and left click copy image. Then come over to Photoshop and say File New. Create, and it's building a blank canvas exactly the size of the picture I just copied. Control V to paste it. Control 0 to zoom out. And next I want to pick up the crop tool and make this a perfect square, and I'd like the source of light to be in one corner. That's the ideal thing. Up here in the upper left as an option, you can see if you do the drop down, choose 1-to-1 square. You can click on the picture and move it around relative to what's being cropped. We could also rotate this if we needed to by going to an outside corner and rotating it. Anyway, I'm going to hit the check mark, and I'm going to darken this just a little bit with levels. I hit Control L and just pushing that up a little bit. Okay, next I want to make 4 copies. I have 4 layers here. Let me show you in layers, window layers, or F7, there's one. So holding down Control key, go J, J, J. And now we want to double the width of the canvas and the height. Image, canvas size. This is easy math here. 12.5 times 2 is 25. Or if you had an odd number and you want to let the computer do the work, just change this to percent and make it 200%. Anchor this. I want this to be at my center, so I just anchored it in the lower left, and zoom out and move tool and snap these out. So we're just doing a classic mirroring again like we did earlier in Project 4, I believe. And I'm choosing this light to be my center point. So what that means is I need to flip the one over it vertically, the one across from it horizontally, and the one diagonally across both horizontally and vertically. So click the top one to select it, hit Control T, right click, and flip vertical. Okay, the one across from it, click on it to make it active, Control T, right click, flip horizontal, check mark. And finally click on this one to highlight it, Control T, and we want to do both horizontal and vertical, and then check mark. And then let's layer flatten this down and save this as a copy. Save a copy so that you can JPEG it and save it to your desktop or wherever, and then get it into Google Drive. Phase 2 of this is to copy this with a Control J and rotate it 90. So Control T, right click, rotate 90, check mark, and do a layer blend between this layer and the background. So I'm going to click normal and start with darken, and that's a good one for me today. So I'm going to flatten this together, layer, flatten image, or Control E is to merge it down as well. Okay, and save this one. It would be project 8.2. First one was 8.1, and one more iteration here. If I hit Control J, Control T, and rotate it half of 90. So I need to do that manually up here in the angle box. So put that 45 here, enter twice or check mark. And once again, I'm looking at darken, multiply, color burn, darker color, lighter color. That's pretty nice. Screen. So check out some of these possibilities. If I go darken, I kind of like this star in the middle, so what I'm going to do is Control E to merge them together, and then I'm using levels, image adjustment levels, or Control L. This is your first foray into photo editing. And by bringing up this highlight slider, I can bring more light into this. Okay. And again, you can save this. Since this is so symmetrical and hanging in there, at this point I see this six-sided hexagon, and 2, 4, 6, 8 stars. That's pretty interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I'm sorry, 8. It's an octagon. One more time. Control J, Control T, and half of 45 is 22.5. Enter twice or check mark. And once again, look at darken, or come down the list and see what other things. That's pretty nice with darker color. Control E, Control L, bring the light in a little bit more, and tighten up the midtone a little bit. Okay to that, and save this as 8.4. Try at least this process with 2 pictures, and do this rotational variation. Great. So see you on the blog.